This tutorial is going to help you learn how to use the iPad interface for the Longhorn Room. Now the iPad for the Longhorn Room is located in the closet on the far side, like away from the big television, on the other side of the partition if the partition's out, or just on that far side of the room, which would be the west side. There's a closet, and inside the closet there's a drawer. The iPad should be in there. It should always be charged. If you're ever putting it back, make sure you charge it. Now I'm not showing you my finger quite yet, so I can show you how to find this. You're going to have one app on there that looks like this. I'm going to swipe down with one finger, and that's going to give me a search. And I type in the letter Q, and it's this first one here that says QSys UCI. I'm going to turn it on so you can see me now. So this QSys UCI is what I'm going to choose. That'll be on your main. When you first load up, it's going to show you something that looks a little bit like this. If you have a screen that says, just says two different options. Actually, let's see if we can get that to come up. I think I had this open already, so it might not have asked. QSys, let's see if it shows. Okay, so you see this screen right here? It says iPad, Longhorn Room, or TPNL. You want to touch iPad, Longhorn Room, and then it's going to download the images and whatnot to be able to do things. Now, one note, if you might have just noticed it, it says if the system is powered off, you can't use the iPad app yet. You can't turn it on from the iPad app. You have to go use the touch panel in the back of the room, which is directly opposite the giant television thing. Now, once you're in here, you are in the iPad interface, which gives you some advanced controls over audio. There is no control over video in here. So let me give you a little bit of a tour of some of the things that are going on. So right here, we've got this whole area that's showing you your main mix. You've got mute buttons here, and then these are actually sliders that you can pull up and down to adjust the level. Down here is just telling you what level you're actually at. The presets I haven't used, and I'm guessing nobody ever will, but you could save presets if you wanted to in here. That's all that happens on here. You can actually do everything except the presets off of the touch panel in the back instead of the iPad. But we come over here to gains. Now this is where we can do a couple of different things. We can decide how loud a microphone should be. This is separate from volume. This is how much input signal is getting in. So these first four wireless really should be the same. They're not at the moment. We're going to just change that down, and I'm going to make that one down to 0 for right now. And then once you start getting into this area where it says mic 1, mic 2, or here it says piano, acoustic, and then there's some other ones, that's referring to the panel up at the front. There's two up at the front that have things you can plug in. Whenever you plug a system in, you have to set the gain on it. And you want to be turning it up so that you get a good level of signal somewhere around right here, not just barely bouncing down at the bottom. You want the gain set before you go and mix with the volume with the, in this tab. Instead, you want to be on the gain. Set that first when you first plug something in. Now, there is a direct box here that says it's a powered, phantom power direct box, and this button here that says P.power, PWR, that's how you turn phantom power on for a channel. Only where that direct box is where you need it right now. There are some microphones that require phantom power. Most of the time, you don't even need it. You set the gain, and then you'll be good to go. Now, the mix tab looks very similar to down here where it says monitor 1. Now, there's a very clearly marked monitor jack up at the front where you can plug your monitors in, and you mix this just the same way that you would be mixing on the main, only it'll adjust what's going on for that person in their monitor or in this person's monitor. And if you look down below here, there's a mute button right underneath where it says main. The whole monitor is muted right now, so even if you did other things, this is like saying, hey, just don't let the whole monitor work at all. This one is not muted, and that's a level for it. Now, on all these where you see these red dots, these crosses in here, that's because on the main mix page, these are all muted. When it's muted in the main mix, it won't come through the monitors at all. There's not a whole lot more to learn about this app other than this one that says channel preset, ch.pr. When I tap there, it should have come up with a passcode saying, hey, you can't use channel preset unless you have the passcode. The passcode is the same passcode that you would use to turn on one of the smart TVs on either end of the room, which if you don't know how to do that, then you should talk to the IT department. But it's the same for every classroom. It works here as well. That's how you're going to get into that. Now, this is the most complicated channel, and a lot of people who are running this system are never going to use this. But what you're doing in here is you have an opportunity to set things like a gate, a compressor, an EQ for each and every channel. If you don't know how to use this, then just don't. But if you wanted to adjust a channel, we would select it over here first. So I'm going to select mic 4, and now I've got all these things in color. So now I can start adjusting gate or compressor levels, and then I can also drag around the EQ, adjust the band or the gain for it, or the bandwidth, which is what this BW stands for. So those are things you can do. If you end up selecting 2 channels, you can actually adjust it at the same time, but you probably don't want to do that. So just unselect one and select what you want to work on if you want to make direct channels. Like I said, most people don't know what they're doing on these kinds of things, so they probably won't use this a whole lot, but the power is here. In this same spot, you have the opportunity to come and rename something. This is where the name piano is getting for number 1 in the main mix, and you'll see it says mic 3 for 3. Well, if we go back to the mix tab, that's what we see, piano mic 3. So you could change that to name it the way that you want. You can plug whatever you want in where you want. Now you can mix, I think you can set the gains as well and do the monitors from the touch panel interface, which looks a little bit different than this. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at that because I think we can. So I'm going to turn off my tap for a second, and I'm going to get rid of this app. And we're going to come in again, and I'm going to open this up. And instead of opening up the iPad room, I'm going to touch TPNL, which is touch panel. Now this is not the thing that you're going to want to use. So it is actually possible to turn on the video from here. You'll notice there's a video tab. So I'm not going to go over that in this particular video. It's not too hard to understand. But down on the audio levels, we have something that says main mix, monitor 1, and monitor 2. And then there's a control here for advanced or simple mode. You're going to notice if you switch to simple mode, it looks like nothing changed. But if you go back to audio levels, you hardly see anything at all. If you go to advanced, and then come back to advanced mode and go to audio levels, now you're seeing this whole area. You can get to either one. Here you've got your main mix, and if you tap to the monitor 1, you can mix your monitor 1, you can tap to monitor 2 and mix your monitor 2. So you cannot set the gains in here. I was wrong about that earlier. But you can mix everything so that if you really needed to, you can do this from the touch panel. It is possible to do it from the iPad, but there's really no reason to. You want to use the iPad interface for that. The video tab has the ability to choose the front or rear source, the graphic. You could turn on or off the video wall, and when you first turn the system on, oftentimes it's going to initiate the video wall in general, or you can power toggle. Or you could come up to the power and you can shut down the system, and you have to choose that. I'm not going to do that from here. I'll do that from the touch panel itself. So that's how you use the iPad for control, and a little bit about how you use the touch panel as well.